guys, I am coming to you today not to talk about Temu, not to talk about my wigs, although this one I am wearing is from Temu. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. So as you can see, the title is Maya what? Okay, myasthenia gravis. It's myasthenia gravis is a neuromuscular disease that causes weaknesses in your muscles. And it says a weakness and rapid fatigue of muscles under voluntary control. The condition is caused by a breakdown in communication between the nerves and the muscles, so they're fighting each other. So, the reason I am talking to you about myasthenia gravis is because I have myasthenia gravis. I was actually self-diagnosed in '94, I believe it was, and prior to that I was having symptoms and I didn't know. Prior to that I was having symptoms and not understanding or not knowing what was causing the symptoms. I had a droopy eyelid, which is called ptosis. I also had doubled vision, which is called diplopia. So back in the 92, 93, I started having these, 94 is when I started having these symptoms. I, of course, because it was my eyes, I went to my ophthalmologist. And my ophthalmologist did, some tests. And he said he didn't see anything wrong. But I was still having the doubled vision. I went back to him because I was really concerned about, why am I having doubled vision? And the droopy eyelid did not concern me as much because it didn't last as long back then. But then eventually it did start to last longer. So in any event, I was going to my doctor, and like I said, his tests were not showing anything. But what he did do was give me a prescription for glasses. So I got the subscription, got my glasses, and the only thing that did was make my doubled vision clearer. Again, I was very concerned. I started reading my medical encyclopedia. Back then we didn't have Google, so I was not able to Google it, but I did have a collection of medical encyclopedias, so I looked it up based on the symptoms that I was experiencing. Everything I read pointed toward myasthenia gravis. Now, I had never heard of myasthenia gravis prior to that, but everything that I was reading was pointing to myasthenia gravis as the reason I was having these eye issues. So again, I go back to my doctor and I tell my doctor, I think I have myasthenia gravis. Oh, no, you don't have myasthenia gravis, because my patients that have myasthenia gravis, they're this, they do this, and they have this. Okay. So again, I'm still concerned because I want to know what's causing me to have this double vision. So one of the times that I realized that I had this double vision, I was at a family reunion and I was reading. And right in the middle of reading from this sheet of paper, the lines started to, instead of being like that, they started to go like this. And I couldn't see. So I kind of put one finger like in the corner of my eye to just allow one vision. So of course you guys may already know this, but your eyes go into like a cone. So both eyes go into a point where they meet, and that's the one object that each eye is seeing. Mine were not doing that. It was going like this way and that way, so it was causing me to have to see two objects. So anyways, that was one of the incidents. And then another was when I was driving up to college where my son was going. My sister was in the car with me, and the lanes that were supposed to be just, several lanes in front of me, well, the lane that I was in, instead of being one lane, it ended up doing this. And I, again, put my finger in the corner of my eye, and I told my sister, you got to drive. So what that did, when I put my finger, I think what it did was when I put my finger in the corner of my eye, it just really just blocked out the vision from that eye, which now I just saw one object. So that's what I started doing whenever I would have my double vision. So again, I go back to my doctor and I'm telling him, I think I have myasthenia gravis, and he was just adamant that it was not. I was convinced that it was. I told him where I got my information from. He became intimidated by me and started asking me, are you a lawyer? Are you a judge? No, I'm just a patient concerned about my own health. And anyway, he still did not actually diagnose me with myasthenia gravis. Then sometime later, I got this red spot in my eye, which was like a busted blood vessel, and my eye was droopy. I did have ptosis at the same time, which it made it hard because I was trying to keep my eye open, and there was a strain too. But so I went to the emergency room because of this redness in my eye, and they referred me to the Kresge Eye Institute. I'm at the Kresge Eye Institute, and I'm in this in the treatment room, and the doctor tells me, he examines me, and he can see that one of my eyes is the eyelid is droopy. So he then administered a tensilon test, and it's an intravenous test, or it says this test it's a medicine called tensilon, and it's given to test you for myasthenia gravis. So it says the provider gives the medicine through one of your veins intravenously. And so this is what the doctor did for me that day. So while I'm sitting in the chair, there was probably like 10 residents or students. I can't remember what they were, but they all piled in this room, and of course my niece was in the room too with me. And so the doctor began to administer this tensilon test. So as he was injecting the medication in my arm, all these doctors are just like staring at me, like, looking in my eyes. So as he was administering this tensilon, my eye just immediately opened. And he says, okay, you have just been diagnosed with myasthenia gravis. Now, it may sound weird, but I was glad to get a diagnosis. Not that I was glad to have myasthenia gravis, but I was glad to find out what was going on with me. So now that I know what it is, I can be treated, properly treated, instead of, just given a prescription for glasses. So anyways, like I said, this was in 94. So I started seeing a neurologist. And the neurologist, gave me a medication which was prednisone and mestynine. When he told me that he was going to give me prednisone, he also, indicated that prednisone is a steroid, and he told me what all of the possible side effects to prednisone would be. And I understood it, but I still wanted to be treated. Now, myasthenia gravis is a neuromuscular disease that cannot be cured. It can only be treated. And another thing that, because of what my original ophthalmologist told me, it's referred to as a snowflake disease because everybody don't have the same symptoms. So because my doctor then was telling me he didn't believe I had myasthenia gravis because I was not like, or I was not experiencing the same things that his other patients were, is because all myasthenia gravis patients don't experience the same thing. We don't always have the same symptoms. So in any event, my doctor, my neurologist, he started treating me with prednisone and mestinon. Initially, I started with 2 mestinon tablets, 25 milligram mestinon tablets, and I was doing, I can't remember exactly what my dosage of prednisone was. During the time that I was taking prednisone, I actually experienced 3 of the side effects. One of the side effects, as most people experience with steroids, is weight gain. I started to gain weight. I was bloating. But again, I understood that was because of the prednisone. The other thing he told me is that I may start growing hair all over my body. Well, which I didn't see that was bad, but my hair grew, but then I started growing like very long, thick sideburns, and it came like down to here. So I would kind of shave that periodically. But my hair grew, so I was fine with that. However, another side effect to prednisone is hair loss. As quickly as my hair grew, I started to lose it. My niece and I were in San Antonio, and my hair was like down here. So, and as she was combing it, she says, "You've got a bald spot." And I felt in the back of my head, and it was smooth, completely bald. That startled me. And then afterwards, I started noticing as I would just like slowly pull my hand through my hair, I would get like globs of hair. And then I could see the different areas where it was just balding. That concerned me. I don't know if I should say concerned me, but it frightened me. Again, I knew that that was one of the possible side effects to prednisone, but you know, that was okay, I thought. And again, it started to concern me that I was losing my hair. But then I had a friend whose niece had been in a car accident, and she lost her leg. She was in college at the height of her years, and she lost her leg in a car accident. I thought, my hair loss is nothing in comparison to losing a limb. I thanked God that I only lost my hair. And for most of my life, I had been wearing wigs. So it was like, you know, there was nothing to worry about. I have my life. My health was not the best, but losing a little hair, or even losing a lot of hair, it was like, you know, it doesn't matter. Since then, my hair had started to just fall out, and I had a lot of bald spots, so I just shaved my hair. And hey, I've been wearing wigs. I love my wigs. I guess you know by all my videos. In any event, the prednisone and the mestinon is what I was using for treatment of the symptoms, not to cure the disease. So right now I'm going to end with that, but I am going to have another part to this to talk more about myasthenia gravis. It's a disease that people are just starting to talk about. You may be seeing commercials on TV, Vivgard, about generalized myasthenia, which I am so glad to see that now it's becoming, people are now becoming aware of this disease. I don't know if you guys remember, but anyways, Terrence Howard played this role in Empire where he was having these medical issues, and one of the doctors, of course in the movie, diagnosed him with myasthenia gravis. My phone blew up because a lot of my coworkers knew I had myasthenia gravis, and my family, some of my family members knew I had myasthenia gravis. But again, no one prior to that had even heard it. My phone was blowing up. They were like, you know, guess what I saw? He has that same thing that you have, that MAGA stinger, whatever that thing. He's got the MAGAs. And I was excited myself because, again, I was like, finally, you know, people are becoming aware of it. It used to be bothersome to me because I would go to the emergency room sometimes, and of course they'd ask you, you know, what are your medical issues? And I would tell them I have myasthenia gravis, and they'd go, what's that? And I'm like, okay, I'm in a hospital, and it's very concerning that the professional staff, the medical staff, does not know what myasthenia gravis is. So it's good now to hear that people are, or they're now talking about it and making the public aware of this disease. I don't want to make this very long, but I did just want to put this out about myasthenia gravis, and I'm going to do a part 2 to talk about it a little more. So if you'd like to hear my part 2 of Maya what? Hit that notification bell so next time I post a video, you will be notified. Also, please like, subscribe, and comment, and share. Have a good day. God bless you. Bye.